Hello, I'm Mario Toneguzzi with Retail Insider. Joining me today is Todd Throndson, who is Managing Director of the Avison Young office in Calgary. Thanks for joining us today, Todd.
Happy to, Mario, and it's good to see you again.
Nice to see you again. Let's talk about downtown markets in Calgary. Foot traffic is coming back. I know that a survey that Avison Young did showed that in the week of April 18th, Calgary was #1 in Canada and #3 in North America for foot traffic in the downtown core. Tell me why that's happening.
Well, I think first and foremost, it was just very exciting to see this report come out that talked about the fact that Calgary was re-engaged with trying to find how to connect with one another. And downtown has had a lot of media lately with regards to the different things that are going on with the office market. But one of the things that is missed is what's happening with the retail market. So when we talk about seeing all the traffic of people downtown, I think it's very exciting and creates a lot of optimism for, I think, everybody, for the city, and particularly for the retail tenants that are downtown, that there's actually going to be people out there that are using their services and looking for their products.
And that's good. The good news, right, for retailers and for, say, restaurants and food establishments down in the core, because my gosh, I know that there was one point I went downtown, whatever, last year or whatever, and I did not see one person walking along Stephen Avenue Mall, and it was like 10 in the morning, and I thought, oh my God, this is awful.
You know what, a year ago, it was a very quiet place to go to work. And so, being a person that works in the downtown core, I'm very excited about all the people that are down there. I'm more excited about the fact that the restaurants and the bars and the retailers are starting to have traffic inside of their stores, because there's nothing more frustrating than going out for lunch and finding that half of the restaurants are closed and you're struggling with trying to find a place to go to. So interestingly enough, it's even been a challenge in a few situations to find a restaurant that actually has space. So there are good and bad, but I think overall, I think it's really good and encouraging to see the downtown have energy and vibrancy that's going to be good for everybody.
So in terms of the return to the office, which will spur all this ancillary, growth in revenues and sales for other businesses, but the return to the office, what has spurred that on, and do you think is it a slow return, or is people coming back en masse? Maybe you can talk a little bit about that.
Sure. I think the return to office has largely changed in the last 6 to 8 weeks, as most of the larger tenancies in downtown Calgary have brought their people back from working from home. So a lot of organizations are looking at hybrid models where they're allowing their staff to work from home certain days, and then other days they're coming back into the office so that the organizations can get that connectivity back with their people. They can rebrand their organization and get synergies going between their different business units, and also allow a lot of their staff to, find a retreat from working out of their homes for the last 2 years, because I think there's been a lot of people that, while to one degree, there's been a lot of efficiencies that have happened because of people learning how to conduct themselves working from home, but so many people are social animals and they want to be around other people, and they want to be part of that energy that is created only when you get a group of people coming back to your office. So I think that it's a combination of different things where companies are saying, we have our internal needs of what we need to do for our business, but we also have to take into account what our staff wants, how they feel, and whether or not they feel safe in coming back to the office. So a lot of organizations are looking at these hybrid models right now to try and create business platforms that work and are shared between the business itself and the staff.
So, Todd, I just wanted to ask you about the downtown vacancy. Obviously, it's been headline news in Calgary for a number of years now, the high level of downtown vacancy. What has this return to office and the current environment in the market done for the vacancy rate downtown in Calgary?
Well, I think part of why we're seeing an improvement in the downtown office market is because of organizations being more comfortable with making long-term decisions. And so a lot of organizations aren't sure what the future is going to look like with regards to these hybrid models of having people in their office or people working from home, but they are certain that in one way, shape, or form, they want to have an office in the downtown. And so a lot of organizations are coming to a place where they can commit themselves to decisions that will allow them to either stay where they are and recommit to their existing landlord to stay with that kind of space, or it's allowing them to make decisions moving forward with looking at new locations and re-energizing their staff, re-energizing their business by doing a change to get excitement going. But overall, largely, I think there's a lot of optimism. There's a lot of excitement in the business community in Calgary. There's a lot of different industries that are doing really well right now. I mean, energy itself is doing very well. Oil is, as you can see in the price in capital markets, is doing very well. Gas, which has been a forgotten industry to some degree, is doing really well. And a lot of the companies that are in the gas side are doing very well. But the downtown is also benefiting from a lot of interest from different types of industries. So the tech industry, there's been a couple of very marquee deals that have been done in the downtown that have brought in a different type of tenancy into the marketplace. So that's a very exciting story. We're also seeing a lot of economic success in agriculture and in the film industry and in the petrochemical industry. So there's a lot of different things at play right now that are contributing to the downtown seeing positive growth, to seeing the come back to office is another positive trend, and people are getting back and being engaged with themselves and with their businesses and with their clients. So there's just right now a very good story to be told about the downtown, predominantly in the core. There's a little bit of a different story with regards to the West End, but between what the city is doing with their incentive plan and some more entrepreneurial owners of real estate looking at the West End to do different things, there's starting to become a story there that's also interesting to look at.
So what's the current downtown vacancy rate?
So the current vacancy right now is 28.9%.
Okay, it has been as high as what?
It was over 30% for a period of time.
Okay, super then. And Todd, the last thing I just wanted to ask you about is, no matter what city you're in, Calgary or Vancouver, Toronto or Montreal, Ottawa, whatever, the downtown core is really the heart of a city when it comes to vibrancy and in the business sector, right? So can you talk just a little bit about that and the importance of having a strong office market to support that?
Well, I'm glad you raised that as a point. I think Calgary is a little bit unique with respect to some of the other cities in Canada because our downtown core really is the heart and the engine of the city. That's where our primary industry throughout the Calgary region has most of their offices and most of their leadership and most of their staff. So the downtown Calgary marketplace basically feeds into the psyche of day-to-day Calgarians. Yeah. And so I think that our downtown is really important to the city. And that's why it's so nice to feel this optimism and this excitement right now in the market. And we're very positive with respect to what the future is going to look like. We believe there's going to be a positive momentum continuing forward for the foreseeable future. And I think all of Calgary is going to benefit from a strong downtown market.
All right. Thanks, Todd, for joining us today.
Sounds great, Mario. Thanks a lot for the time.
All right. That was Todd Throndson, Managing Director of Avison Young in Calgary. This has been Retail Insider with Mario Toneguzzi. Thanks for joining us today.